Sarah lights the ancient candle in the center of the room, its flickering light casting eerie shadows across walls etched with arcane symbols. The air grows colder. A chill runs up her spine as unseen eyes watch from the darkness. Following her father's journal, she recites incantations that send shivers down her back. Each word echoes like distant whispers, resonating through the room. As she continues, the candlelight flickers violently, casting distorted shapes against the walls. The atmosphere thickens with tension as Sarah completes each step meticulously. A growing pressure surrounds her, almost tangible in its intensity. A faint whisper echoes a voice so soft and insidious that it seeps into her mind rather than merely filling the air. Suddenly, a loud creak shatters the silence. The walls begin to tremble as if an unseen force is trying to break free. Sarah's breath catches. She turns slowly, eyes scanning shifting shadows for movement. The floor shakes violently, and one stone wall ripples like water. A dark figure materializes from within, barely discernible but radiating malevolence. The cold intensifies as thick fog rolls out behind it, wrapping around her limbs. Sarah backs away, heart pounding against ribcage. "Who are you?" she asks shakily, though the word echoes mockingly back to her. The figure steps forward into a better light upper half of a woman, with long dark hair and hollow eyes devoid of warmth or life. "It's been too long," it rasps in voice distorted by age and sorrow. Sarah stumbles over feet. "Please, tell me what you want," she cries desperately. "You always knew," the figure replies sharply, turning away abruptly and disappearing back into wall as suddenly as it had appeared. She collapses to knees in shock, staring at where its form once stood. The room quiets but remains oppressive, with dread that clings heavy around her. She feels utterly alone amidst desolate space filled only by shadows and sorrowful echoes. The candle flickers one last time before extinguishing itself entirely, plunging the attic into pitch blackness except for faint moonlight peeking through cracks in walls. Sarah pulls herself to feet shakily and rushes towards door, desperate to escape haunting place as fast as possible. As she reaches threshold of the quiet room, wall behind her ripples once more but does not open again. She closes the door firmly without looking back, stumbling down darkened staircase in rush to leave Ashwood Manor for good. Outside, night air is colder and oppressive than ever before. Sarah's breath comes out in ragged gasps as she forces herself through thick fog that hangs like shroud over Ashwood Manor. Her footsteps crunch on gravel but are otherwise swallowed by eerie silence. Every rustle of leaves or creaking branch sends icy tendrils down spine, making her feel watched and hunted. Reaching edge of property, Sarah turns towards distant street lamps in town. House looms behind like dark beast with empty eyes staring accusingly into night. She glances back once more before breaking into sprint down dirt path that leads away from it all. As she runs through fields slick with dew past stands of trees where branches reach out as if to grab at clothes or hair, Sarah's mind races. Memory fragments keep coming, unbidden moments of warmth mixed in stark terror. Faces both familiar yet insubstantial like ghosts flickering across pond surface. She stumbles over roots and stones but keeps going. Fog begins to lift slightly as dawn approaches, revealing outlines rather than solid forms. Sarah slows pace finally when reaches town proper. Exhausted body, no match for relentless churn in mind. Heart pounds with physical ache at what has happened tonight. Seeking refuge from ghosts and memories alike, she finds herself drawn towards St. Mary's Cemetery early morning after barely managing sleep through night. Graves are neat rows of weathered stone markers under ancient oak trees whose leaves whisper secrets older than time itself. She walks among them slowly now, picking up loose earth or bits grass to feel grounded in reality. Not long before spots particular marker that catches eye, Evelyn Ashwood, 1892-1935. Name is engraved alongside initials EA, carved into stone, a symbol she remembers seeing elsewhere within Ashwood Manor. Chill runs down spine as recognition dawns. This woman must have been one of Evelyn's ancestors who shared her obsession with rituals and control over darkness. Sarah kneels beside grave, touching finger lightly to where someone else has laid flowers. Perhaps distant relative paying respects in recent years. These thoughts give way quickly, though, when notices another inscription etched into side, "In memory of my beloved brother." It's dated 1902, just before Evelyn was born. Her stomach twists sharply at new layer unraveling. Later that day, after returning home and attempting to eat breakfast, task made nearly impossible by gnawing anxiety, Sarah can't resist going back out again, this time towards library on Main Street, where dusty books of history might hold undiscovered answers. She spends hours poring over brittle pages filled with tales of Ashwood Manor's past, finding hints about strange goings-on throughout decades, but nothing concrete enough to explain what she experienced last night. When dusk falls and shadows creep closer once more, Sarah finds herself outside Manor again without even realizing body had moved. Thought crosses briefly that perhaps it would be best just leave everything behind for good to start fresh, somewhere far away from here. But there's something pulling her back despite fear or logic telling otherwise. She stands in front of Ashwood Manor under moonlit sky, feeling connection tugging insistently at heart and mind. It is not until she steps inside once more that Sarah fully acknowledges what place truly represents. Legacy versus personal truth. Family ties binding tightly against freedom, sought elsewhere. Each step through dimly lit hallways brings her closer to understanding Evelyn's story, a tale of power seized wrongly from darkness itself. The attic looms ahead again, its presence unwelcoming reminder of confrontation yet unmet. Yet now there is resolve mixed with dread. Sarah approaches the quiet room with purpose rather than panic this time around. She knows door will open for her as it did last night. Knows too that secrets within wait to be unraveled further still. As she reaches out hand towards doorknob, fingers brushing cold metal barely visible under faint moonlight filtering through cracks in walls. Sarah pauses suddenly, senses prickling sharply anew. Oppressive sense of dread returns tenfold as if unseen force warns her away from what lies inside. But this time hesitation is followed by determination rather than flight. She turns handle and pushes inward, stepping back into shadowy realm filled with answers yet unknown dangers lurking just beyond surface truth.